The Illini with a chance to make it to its first championship game. And in the other semifinal, Carolina and Michigan State. Roy Williams seeking to take his alma mater to Monday night. And that's where we're going to begin with the nightcap for you. North Carolina and Michigan State. Roy Williams' 5th career Final Four appearance. Here comes his crew trotting out. Michigan State players are all fired up in their war circle. First half, Ray Felton. Look at the great feed of David Noel for the dunk. That's just a terrific look by Felton. Little bounce skip pass. Later, tied up at 25, Kelvin Torbert. Driving lay-in as he goes baseline. Torbert all fired up. Michigan State leading 38-33 at the half. But the second half was a whole different story. Carolina's down 1. Felton feeds Jawad Williams. Alley-oop. And then Shannon Brown as a little run's about to take place. Shannon Brown with a 3-ball ties it at 49. But Carolina, here they come. Jawad Williams, jumper. That starts the run. And then Sean May, who was a different human being in the second half. That's a 4-0 run. Then Felton driving, hitting the layup. The run is at 6-0. Free throw made it a 7-0 run, and then Rashad McCants, the triple. 10-0 North Carolina run would eventually run out to 12-0 after a couple of throws. Later, 75-63 Carolina and Sean May, the layup and one as Carolina goes on to win it by a final count of 87-71. Carolina comes out on absolute fire in the second half. They treasured the ball, cut down on the turnovers, played great D, holding State to 29% shooting after the break. May with 18 of his 22 in the second half. They dominated the glass, and they dominated the points in the paint. So North Carolina is simply a much different team after recess.
The message was basically just to go out and just play harder and play better. You know, we know that we didn't play our best basketball. We didn't play Carolina basketball. So we went out and we just played hard. And Coach told us that. He said, if we want to win this game, you know, we're going to go out, we're going to play like we want it.
Coach, you know, he just said you guys have a chance if you go out there and compete. And I think everybody did their part. Jawad, Marvin had big rebounds. Rashad was in there battling. And, I mean, it was a difference in the game.
I wanted to be into the game. I wanted our players to be in the game. And sometimes if they happen to see that and can pick up on that intensity, that's great. But for the most part, I expect our guys to do it by themselves. But I'm not a flower child sitting over there just wondering what the heck's going to happen at the end.
No, we didn't give up. None of the guys, you know, didn't act like the game was already over. They kept trying to, you know, get turnovers and get buckets. But, I mean, Carolina just kept executing on their plays.
We just didn't have enough weapons. They played awfully well. They deserved to win. And it's going to be, I think, a great championship game with 2 #1 seeds. It's probably the way it's supposed to be.
So Roy Williams becomes just the 3rd coach ever to take 2 different schools to the national championship game. And there's a good trend here if you're a Roy Williams Carolina fan, because both Larry Brown and Tar Heel legend Frank McGuire lost with their first team and then won it with their second. Here's the game day crew in St. Louis.
Reshape the mindset of his players. Had to do it again at halftime of the semifinal game against Michigan State. The Tar Heels were down 5 points, and Williams, in his typical G-rated fashion, had a very important message to get across. Start playing better and quickly. In particular, it was Raymond Felton. He figured he would have an edge at point guard, Digger, but in the first half, Felton, not himself. 1 of 5 from the floor, 4 turnovers, some careless plays, but boy, did he turn it around after intermission.
Yeah, the intensity really turned it around that second half. When you watch Raymond Felton, when he plays with that full court intensity, there's nobody better on the floor. He can go up and down with the best of them, and what he did was establish the outside game, which set up Sean May in the inside, but yet he took the game over to start that second half and led that big spurt to get them out in that big lead, and when they get that lead up to 15, it was the reason why he got it done. But you like to see what happened that second half. It was Felton and May, Dick. They combined for 32 points after only getting 6 in that first half, and that was the difference because of their intensity and aggressive play.
Well, also in the first half, I thought Michigan State did a great job defensively, especially on May. They didn't allow May to get, as Jay would say, angles on the interior. But in the second half, he was able to get post position, and Raymond Felton just attacked the basket. He really created, innovated, attacked, scored at will, distributed the basketball, and I thought he was absolutely brilliant. I'll tell you one thing, not only was it the tandem of when you talk Felton and certainly May, I thought, Jay, Jawad Williams finally broke out and played like he did earlier this year.
And he did it early. When Raymond Felton was struggling with his decision-making, he wasn't strong with the ball, he was pitching it away, and North Carolina was going in a lot of different directions offensively. Jawad Williams was really the guy that stepped forward. He had 12 points, 6 rebounds in that first half. He went 5 of 8 from the field, and it was really a steadying influence. One of the few guys that really played with strength and mental toughness in that first half, and that was really a difference. In the second half, everybody came out and played 5 as 1 and really competed hard together.
Jawad had a very sluggish NCAA tournament, a total of 18 points. He exceeds that in the semifinal game. And the 32 by Felton and May in the second half, they almost single-handedly outscored Michigan State. The Spartans only had a total of 33 points. And, Jay, you look at the stat sheet, and Carolina has a reputation for not playing great defense, but the stats look pretty good.
Well, isn't this what we talked about the other day, that everybody was bagging on North Carolina's defense, saying the Tar Heels don't guard anybody, Michigan State, you give the edge. Well, North Carolina can guard people. They got out in the second half, and they held Michigan State under 30% shooting from the field. And this is a pretty solid Michigan State team on the offensive end. North Carolina's defense is pretty darn good. They don't get near the credit they deserve.
I thought their transition game, though, was unbelievable in the second half, and that's when North Carolina is at their best.
Spartans tried to run with them, and it worked for about 20 minutes, but Carolina's explosiveness able to put away Michigan State, set up the dream final here in St. Louis on Monday night.
Back to St. Louis, Illinois, needing to get by Louisville to get to its first ever NCAA tournament championship game. Bruce Weber, the coach, and former coach Lou Henson in attendance in St. Louis. Second half, Roger Powell Jr. following his own shot. Powell 9 of 13 from the floor. More of the Reverend, the collection. Louisville down 4. Taekwon Dean open for 3. But Louisville hit just 6 of 23s in the game. Powell Jr. again, and here we go. It's an Illini run. And they start to pull away. Luther Head for 3. He had 20. Head hit 6 threes in the game. Head one more time. An 11-0 Illini run. Open for 3. And then Powell Jr. one more time. 20 for the Reverend, and the Illini run away over Louisville. 72-57. Illinois has played 5 national semifinal games, and this is the Illini's first win. Darren Williams and D. Brown combined to shoot just 5 for 17, but there was no shortage of offense for Illinois, which ties the NCAA record for wins in a season with 37. The Illini have also won 37 NCAA tournament games. One more Monday night, and Illinois would win its first ever national championship.
The seniors carried us. I said way long time ago, our juniors are great, but we are no better than our seniors. Our seniors will determine how good we are, and I think they stood up big tonight and made a difference, and they got us to the championship.
We had to pitch a Pedro Martinez game, and where we don't make any mistakes and don't put it down the middle and give a home run. And those 2 plays where we could have taken the lead gave him that home run pitch and started to ignite that rally. So it was difficult. We didn't pitch a perfect game, but we hung in there as long as we could, and then we faltered to a better basketball team.
We wrote April 4th on the board about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, and we are playing on April 4th in the national championship, so we're very excited.
Well, Bruce Weber, the good news is that Illinois' 15-point win was the 5th largest in a national semifinal game since they went to 64/65 teams. The bad news is that each of the 4 previous teams to post such wins ended up losing the national title game. For analysis on the Illini's big win here, we go back to St. Louis. Chris Fowler and company.
And welcome back to St. Louis. We're at Union Station and the final stop of the college basketball season for 2005. 1 versus 2 Monday night. Illinois against North Carolina. Back with our gang here. You know, Illinois, rightfully so, the guards get the attention, but it was the front court players, Jack Ingram, and in particular Roger Powell Jr., who combined to score 18 of the first 21 points in that decisive second half. In particular, it was Powell, an ordained minister who gives sermons and performs weddings. After a foul-plagued first half, he went back and he prayed in the locker room, he said, and then, Jay, he came out and he was a holy terror in the second half.
Well, Roger Powell is a matchup nightmare. He can take a smaller man into the post. He can take a bigger guy out on the perimeter. He had 2 fouls in the first half. Only played 5 minutes, but in the second half, he was absolutely magnificent. He scored 18 points. He went 8 of 10 from the field and really did a great job. I thought that was the big play of the game, where he got his own rebound off a 3-point shot and dunked it back in. He put the ball on the floor and he went around his his man Ellis Miles couldn't stop him. Juan Palacios couldn't stop him. He was really the key in the game, especially in the second half.
Well, I'll tell you, Jay, when you look at Powell and you look at Head, they combined for 12 for 17 in the second half. 32 of the 41 points they accounted for. You talk about Powell, special. But what about Luther Head? He made 4 big threes in the second half. An outstanding offensive player. Shot the long-range jumper, and I'll tell you something else. You talk about Luther Head, a terrific defensive player. Talking about defense, Digger, no one does it better than Darren Williams. Stopped Salim Stoudemire, and now he shut down Garcia.
He took Garcia really and just made him just play the way he wanted him to play. And when you see him going 2 for 10, that's not what Garcia wanted to do. He's a great three-point shooter. He couldn't get the shots off. But more importantly, when you take the challenge of what went on, when you look at even Salim Stoudemire going 2 for 13, that to me is the stat that really comes out. So in 2 games, these guys combined, we look at Stoudemire and Garcia, 4 for 23. That's how good he is. And I really think when they play against what you saw went on with Chris Paul going 4 for 11 in the Wake Forest game, he'll take the challenge to go out to me against Raymond Felton and get it done with him also, because Felton is quick, so is Chris Paul. He shuts down Chris Paul, then I think he's going to take the challenge, go after Raymond Felton.
Well, you know, you talk about Francisco Garcia, Digger. I think we have definitely seen the last of Francisco on a collegiate level. I want to thank him for the great memories he's given me. He's been a special kid, very courageous young man, played within the system of Rick Pitino, and that's been a special college player, Jay.
He is a terrific college player. It wasn't representative of the kind of player he's been, the way he played tonight, but you got to give a lot of credit to Darren Williams for the way he played. And you have to also give a lot of credit to the big guys for Illinois. You know, James Augustine, Jack Ingram, Roger Powell. They haven't gotten a lot of publicity all season long, but they out-rebounded what I consider to be a wider Louisville team and a better rebounding team. They out-rebounded them by 12. That was a big difference in the game as well, the way that Illinois controlled the glass.
Yeah, no player should want to play against Darren Williams in your final college game. That's not the way to go out. He patterns his game after Jason Kidd, and you can see it. Not a big scoring night. In fact, one of his worst of the season, but those 9 assists, chasing Garcia on defense, played 38 minutes, and you know he's going to have a better shooting game on Monday. He can't shoot that poorly 2 games in a row. Illinois and Carolina, St. Louis and the Hoops Nation will be talking about that one for the next 2 days.
Tar Heels looking for their 4th national championship. The Illini playing in their first ever national championship game. First time since Duke and UConn in '99. The title game featured 2 #1 seeds. Roy Williams, Bruce Weber, nice jacket. First half, Sean May from Raymond Felton. Carolina playing like a 1 seed. About 10 minutes left first half. Felton back in there with 2 fouls. So the Tar Heels alter their defense to prevent Felton from picking up his 3rd. They're going to go zone here. Illini down 3. Tar Heels in that zone. Warren Carter gets a look but misses the 3. UNC going to stay in that zone. Illini just can't get it inside. There they are. Luther Head forced to fire one up here. Illinois shot only 28% in the first half. No penetration inside against that Carolina zone. Still first half, Rashad McCants for 3. He had 14 all in the first half. Tar Heels up 40-27 at halftime. Second half, May. He was flat out unstoppable. 10 of 11 from the field. UNC up by 7. More May. Spinning here. This time for 2. Make it 3. He had 26 points, 10 boards. Carolina would lead by as many as 15, but Illinois would make a run. Remember, they overcame a 15-point deficit to beat Arizona. Darren Williams the steal. D. Brown lays it in. He had 12. They're with an 8. Down 6. Luther Head. He had 21. The lead is 4. Under 3 minutes left. Illini down 3. Head for the tie. Even at 70, Illinois tied it twice in the last 5.5 minutes. McCants here. Misses. Marvin Williams does not. Big tip here to break the tie. Another look at the freshman fighting for position, and UNC has a 2-point lead. Under 40 to go. Heads pass. Oh, it's a Fred Brown moment. Still down 3. Head. Open look for the tie. Illinois shot just 12 of 40 from 3-point range. Tar Heels did not allow a basket in the final 2.5 minutes. Roy Williams wins with his alma mater. Sean May, most outstanding player. First title for the Tar Heels since 1993. They are the first team to lead the nation in scoring and win the national championship since Loyola in 1963. As you said, Illinois 12 of 40 from 3-point range. That's a record for 3-point attempts in a Final Four game. They simply needed more to go in. 41st NCAA tournament win for Roy Williams. He did have the most wins without a title, and now he has the most wins before his first title.
It's a great moment for our staff, not just for me. It's a great moment for our families. It's a great moment for these youngsters who have these moments and these thrills and these memories for the rest of their lives. And the 2005 team was a team out there tonight.
We came out tonight and we proved that we are a team. You know, we are together. I mean, we're going to win a national championship if they're not together.
I talked yesterday about the basketball gods look down upon college basketball. They got us here. I think we put a good show, but, you know, we just didn't have enough to get over the hump.
It leaves a bad taste in your mouth, not getting to cut down the nets and, you know, not getting to, you know, see these seniors go out with a bang like we want them to.
It's very gratifying to know that you set goals for yourself and you're able to achieve those goals. But, you know, when we sit down tonight and talk about the game, I'm telling them, you know, you might have had 26 points and you might have been a Final Four MVP, but I had 10 boards and you didn't do that, so.
I'm really not that much better coach now than I was about 3 hours ago.
And now, as you said, he'll go tee it up. Roy Williams finally off the schneid. This is officially a trend. Each of the last 4 head coaches to win a title have done so after years of coming close. Jim Calhoun's 25 wins before his first in '99. Gary Williams 22 before winning in 2002. Jim Boeheim 37 in 2003. St. Louis and Chris Fowler and company.
Sometimes criticized for a perceived lack of togetherness. These Heels getting very close together to celebrate a well-earned national championship. Rashad McCants, perhaps the last time he'll wear that Carolina jersey, celebrating the soon-to-arrive rings and the Siemens Trophy, symbolic of a national championship. What a classic here in St. Louis. Chris Fowler, Dick Vitale, Digger Phelps, and Jay Billis. Well, guys, for the last 21 years of his life, Sean May has heard about a basketball game played 8 years before he was born. His dad, Scott, completing a perfect season in Indiana, winning a national championship, but Sean has had to hear it from his dad and also his big brother, Scott Jr., about never being part of a Final Four. He can now answer back with a vengeance. He's the most outstanding player here in St. Louis, and he celebrates his 21st birthday. He got a very expensive bottle of champagne as a gift. They went out and crushed the hopes of the guys from Champaign.
Well, he was the most important part of this championship run. He was absolutely dominant against Illinois. 26 points, 10 rebounds. He went 10 of 11 from the field. He got deep post position. It was so deep that Illinois couldn't bring those post-to-post doubles because he got the ball and made a quick move to the basket. He was guarded by Roger Powell most of the game, just bulled his way to the hole, and Illinois really had no answer for him. And when he was double-teamed, he was able to find an open shooter, Jawad Williams, to knock down the three. Sean May is the biggest reason that North Carolina was able to cut the nets down against a very good Illinois team. Illinois just had no answer for the big guy inside. They just couldn't match up with him.
Well, when you look at what he really did, go back to what you say. You know, his dad won a national title at Indiana, so he got a little more inspired playing against the Big Ten teams the last 3 games because against Wisconsin, Michigan State, as well as Illinois. How about 77 points? How about 39 rebounds? How about putting himself in the position to where he gets 13 doubles in his last 16 games, 21 straight games where he scores double figures? This kid has just really turned it on the last 2 months for Carolina basketball, Dick, and no doubt in my mind, this is the main reason why they win the game, his presence in the paint.
Well, Richard, I will tell you this. It was like having a beauty contest. It was an M&M'er. It was a mismatch. It would be like Jennifer Garner working in with her bikini, and here comes Phyllis Diller in her bikini. Absolutely no contest. May did anything he wanted in the post. He dropped step. He had great body control, super hands, and always made the big play. Absolutely had balance, something that they did not have on Illinois' side. Illinois had zip from their baseline. And Powell is a gutty kid, a tough kid, but didn't have enough size to offset May.
I have to clear the visual image you just gave me there. James Augustine, the Illini center, what a disappointment. He fouls out, only plays 9 minutes, does not score in his final game at Illinois. Sean May joins a pretty exclusive club of guys who have had 20 points, 10 rebounds in a championship game. Shane Battier in 2001 for Duke. Greg Kelser is the other superstar for the Spartans in '79, and Richard Washington in what was the final championship for John Wooden back in 1975. Of course, May had plenty of help. I mean, Raymond Felton, who was in foul trouble himself early, but stayed on the floor and played pretty smart, hit some big shots, hit a monster 3 late in the game, had an interception on an errant Luther had passed down the stretch in the lane that was crucial as well.
Chris, you're 100% right. I thought that 3 was a monster at 65-65. They were like a boxer on the ropes with the early lead and looking like they were just hanging on. He responded. There were just 2 guys in his face, stepped back, and he drilled it. And why did that happen? Think about this for all you young kids out there. How about about 500 shots during the summer every day with his dad feeding him, teaching him how to get the elbow in instead of having that chicken wing. And that was the difference, the desire and the work ethic. They all say, Digger, you know, you talk about an All-American, he's an ordinary person with extraordinary desire to excel, and that really epitomized Felton.
And Felton did a good job, because when they did get in foul trouble in that first half, Roy Williams went to the zone to protect him. That's how he got him back in. They went up 13 in the first half. Look at what Illinois does. They go 5 for 19 shooting threes in the first half. In the backcourt of Williams, Head, and Brown only score 15 points. But in the second half, they start making better threes, better shot selection. They combined for 35 points. They only had 70 tonight, and that was the difference. I just thought they shot too many threes when they needed them. They made them, but they had too many for the night.
You know, and in the first half, Illinois had some easy shots, and they weren't able to convert. Jack Ingram inside. I thought Roger Powell had a couple easy ones, and that allowed North Carolina to go the other way. But I agree with you, Digger. I thought that the Illinois guards shot too many threes, especially in the first half. And with about 6 minutes to go in the first half, Illinois had a 3-on-1 break, and ultimately it was Luther Head who took a jump shot from three-point range on that break instead of getting to the rim. And in the second half, they put the ball on the floor a little more and attacked off the dribble. They were 10 of 12 from two-point range in the second half. That opened up things from the perimeter. But really the big play, I thought, in the game, it was tied 70-70, and Rashad McCants took it into the basket, missed a shot. Illinois couldn't come up with a rebound, and Marvin Williams with the tip-in. That ultimately was the game winner, really.
Yeah, it wasn't Michael Jordan's jumper, but it was another freshman hitting the eventual game-winning shot. The Illini go scoreless about the last 2.5 minutes of this game. So the much-maligned Carolina defense able to defend well enough, and Illinois obviously weary. It had a lot of guys play a lot of minutes, and it showed up in the final minutes of that game. Well, Roy Williams, 17th season as a head coach, third crack in the national championship game, makes the long-awaited climb to the top of the ladder and the top of the mountain to claim his souvenir here in St. Louis.